We want to win a Grammy. So from here to Grammy, all the rest are the noises.
And they were changing our faces with the monkey faces, and it was tough.
You recently posted a video talking about the executions, the young people who are due to be executed in your hometown of Isfahan.
I had this comment on the one of the posts. It was like, every single penny that I spent on that VPN to come on internet, well deserved.
And when we were in the car with Andy, we gave her a video call, and then she loved.
He was flying all around the house. In Malaysia, the moment you apply for refugee, it means you are no one.
And like even my fiance, I told her, this is a package deal. Like, you come to this family, this is a package.
Yeah, I was thinking anyone who enters this into a relationship with you guys is going to have to be ready for it's a package of two at least, right? It's July 30th, 2026. This is Roqe. Hi there, welcome to episode 454 of Roqe. I'm Jian Gomeshi. Hello to you from Toronto, Canada. Salam Dostan Aziz Durubasham. I hope you're doing okay wherever you are tuning in from around the world. It is good to be back with you in the studio. This is actually our first feature in studio episode since Roqe Live 6. And maybe before we get to today's guests, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who joined us in person at the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts a couple of weeks ago. It was a special night, seeing more than 500 people come together to immerse themselves in Iranian and Iranian Canadian issues and music and culture and community. It reminded us of why we do this. If you couldn't be there, or if you were there and you'd like to relive it, the entire show, as you may know, is now available on our YouTube channel and on our podcast platforms. And we're really proud of how it turned out overall. Do check it out. And a big thank you to all of the guests who performed or were part of this show. Of course, including dear Shahram Shapare, the recipient of the latest Roqe Media Icon Award. It really was a memorable night. Okay, now to today's episode. Our guests have built one of the biggest names in electronic dance music anywhere in the world. They have performed on international stages. They have accumulated billions of online views. They have become one of the most recognizable Iranian musical acts of their generation. And yet, despite all that success, they have rarely sat down for a long-form conversation of this type with a Western program in English like this one. So I am and was genuinely excited to spend some time with them. Today, you're going to hear not just about their music, but about their exile, about their brotherhood, racism, identity, success, what it means to carry Iran with you wherever you go. Vessbroz, the dynamic duo Vessbroz, joining us in just a little bit. Now, these guys are from Isfahan. And speaking of folks from Isfahan, as many of you likely know, over the last few days, our community, the Iranian community around the world, has once again been shaken by the executions of young people, this time young Iranians in Isfahan at the hands of this despotic Islamic Republic regime. I did this kitchen selfie talk on this subject earlier this week that now has been viewed by hundreds of thousands of people. And that kind of response reminds me of how deeply these stories are resonating with us as Iranians around the world, and how there's such an astonishing divide, as I was saying in that video, between the conversations and awareness of Iranians about the atrocities of the Islamic Republic regime and the lack of reporting about it, including these immoral and unjust public hangings in the Western media. So we continue to need to talk about this within our community and to non-Iranians. Our thoughts are with all of those families and friends of young people on death row or being executed in Iran. And this is germane to today's episode, because I should note that this interview with Vessbroz was recorded about a week ago, before those executions were carried out. And Armian Arsham of Vessbroz, as I mentioned, are themselves from Isfahan. And during our conversation, we do speak about the young people on death row there and about the brothers' decision to use their own platform to raise awareness about what was happening. But keep in mind that things change so quickly in the Iranian space that we have to issue these kinds of disclaimers to avoid any confusion. This interview was done a week ago. Okay, a couple of quick notes, community notes before we begin. Tomorrow evening, that'll be Friday, July 31st. Maybe you're watching this on Friday. It means it's tonight. There will be a demonstration here in Toronto in support of a free Iran and against the Islamic Republic regime and its latest atrocities. It begins at 8 p.m. at Dundas Square. There are similar demonstrations taking place in cities around the world. So if you're able to attend wherever you are, we hope you'll consider doing so. This weekend also marks the annual Persian Festival, which claims to be the biggest Persian festival in the world here in the Greater Toronto area. It's at Richmond Green Park in Richmond Hill. It's running August 1st through the 3rd. It's a holiday here in Canada on Monday, so it goes Saturday to Monday. If you're in the Greater Toronto area, it's always a vibrant opportunity to celebrate our community, our food, our music, our culture. And among this year's performers are our pal DJ Al and TM Bax on Sunday and on Monday. That's the Persian Festival at Richmond Hill Green, August 1st to the 3rd. All right, let's get to our feature guests. Let me tell you about Stellar Law. Today's episode of Roqe is brought to you in part by Stellar Law. Stellar Law is a boutique litigation firm based in Toronto, founded and led by Rana Nosrat Panoah. This firm represents businesses and professionals in commercial and contractual disputes, particularly where relationships have broken down and the consequences are significant. Stellar Law's practice is grounded in careful analysis and strategic decision-making. Much of the work involves contract disputes, shareholder conflicts, complex business disagreements that require both legal precision and practical judgment. Rana and her team are known for approaching these matters with clarity, with focus, and a deep understanding of what's at stake for their clients. For those navigating serious disputes with real commercial impact, check out Stellar Law at stellarlaw.ca. Thanks again to Rana Nosrat and the team at Stellar Law. And if you are Iranian, do note that Stellar Law operates in both English and Persian. If you prefer to deal in Persian, thank you, Stellar Law. All right, let me tell you about Tikatel. Today's episode of Roqe is brought to you with the support of Tikatel. Here's a simple truth about running a business. Every call is an opportunity and every customer is an asset, right? But if you're busy with another client or in a meeting or simply can't get to the phone in time, that opportunity can disappear in minutes. This is where Tikatel comes in. Their smart business platform helps make sure no customer gets forgotten. With intelligent call routing, an AI receptionist, instant text replies when you can't answer, and one place to manage your calls, your messages, your customer relationships. And it doesn't stop there. Tikatel also helps you stay connected with your customers through AI-powered follow-ups and easy SMS campaigns, making it simple to promote your business, announce a special offer, or remind people why they chose you in the first place. If you're looking to grow your business without letting valuable opportunities slip away, visit tikatel.ca. Our big thanks to Tikatel for supporting Roqe. Tikatel.ca.
دلم میخواد به اصفهان برگردم بازم به اون نصف جهان برگردم برم اونجا بشینم در کنار زاینده رو بخونم از ته ترانه و شعر و سوز ترانه و شعر و سوز.
All right, let's get to our featured guests for this episode. If by chance you don't know their name, it's still quite possible you've heard their tracks and their musical prowess. For millions of people around the world, they're already stars. Their music has filled clubs, festivals, playlists across continents. They've built a global audience measured not just in streams, but in billions of social media views. And yet outside of the world of electronic dance music, many people may still not know the remarkable story behind the name Vessbroz. They are brothers. brothers, Armia and Arshampour, born in Isfahan, separated by borders, reunited by music, and ultimately transformed by a journey that took them from Iran to Malaysia to the Netherlands before they built an international career together. Along the way, they have faced doubt, racism, exile, and the challenge of carrying an Iranian identity into a global industry. Today, they're not only among the most recognizable Iranian DJs in the world, they're also increasingly using their platform to speak out about the country they left behind. I'm very pleased to welcome Vessbroz to Roqe, and right now Armia and Arsham. Vessbroz join me from the Netherlands. Hello, you two.
Hello. My name is Armia.
And my name is Arsham.
Yeah, and together we are Vessbroz. Thank you so much for that beautiful intro. I really appreciate all the words. Thank you for having us.
It's a great pleasure, and for me to have you on the show. I was telling you right before we started recording that we've been looking forward to doing this for a long time. I appreciate what you guys have done, not just the music, but the journey. It's interesting as well thinking about you. I'm definitely going to get to the way you, as you say, you've transformed or reset. But I find you're famous in a very modern way, which is that you're huge inside your world. For people who know electronic music or know you guys, you're major stars. That's not an overstatement. And yet still unknown or not as well known to many outside of the music or outside of the genre. Is that an interesting paradox for you?
Yes, DJing and electronic music has been always, we were the guys in the dark corner at the, things that start changing with David Guetta. He was actually the guy that made DJs like superstar, but still there are maybe just handful of DJs that are have that global recognition that when they walk on the street, people are jumping on them and taking photos. But we are getting there step by step because it's just different with pop stars basically.
And also, I would say, U.S. media and then U.S. market is a whole new, I would say, game for let's say European market. Even having a tour and having a show there. Now we are having a kind of tour in USA by starting from Thanksgiving, 10 shows in US. But of course, that's subject to the promoter and visa, and we can get a working visa or not. But yeah, it's quite different market, I would say.
Yeah.
Does that anonymity outside of the genre buy you some kind of freedom, Arsham? In other words, if you're Ed Sheeran, wherever you go, people will know you. But you can be a superstar in your genre, but then go to the grocery store and not be as well recognized.
To be honest, that's what I love. I love to be able to still do my shows, go on a stage, do my own thing, and also be the guy on just walking in Thailand, having fun, grabbing my drinks. So that's, I think, the beauty of it.
Yeah. But I think some things are changing, and of course it depends on how you are. Depends on what type of music also you release. Because before we were releasing a lot of really electronic music, specific genres. But now we are also releasing some radio music, as we call, so our latest release. So that if radio releases could help you to get that global fame, basically, or
undoubtedly, you start to become Daft Punk, but with faces.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Take me back before we get into the present success and where you guys are at. Take me back to Isfahan. How did two kids growing up in Iran first discover electronic music?
Well, electronic music was always my passion because, in Iran back in the day, everyone used to have these illegal satellite where we could watch European TVs, in particular MTV. And then spinning records was a huge deal on MTV records because on MTV, the satellite TV channel, because they started with this electronic music, house music. A lot of DJs were on MTV, and then with the spinning logo. By the way, for those that they don't know, spinning records is the biggest dance record label of
in the world.
Yeah, in the world. And a lot of big artists starting from there, like Tiesto, Martin Garrix.
Even David Guetta did a lot of music.
Yeah, even David Guetta.
Yeah.
So I used to watch those and growing up, and I always want to be a DJ. But in Iran, that time, I even still now, dance music is illegal. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's say underground. So I remember with my father, we went to some illegal DJ shop. We went all the way outside of Isfahan to some creepy underground place. The guy had like 3 or 4 DJ system. We went on literally underground. Was it was some basement? He showed us few DJ, and then
So how do you find that guy? I mean, you can't just. I mean, how do you even know about him?
So I went to a birthday of my friend, and then it was everybody said this famous DJ coming from over town. Famous DJ is coming. Then later on, he became one of my best friend. So I was like, okay, who's this guy? And then this guy also was really careful, like where he goes, because every time they could catch him, right? Because he was illegal guy. You know, back in Iran, being DJ was like being a drug dealer, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. I walk up to him, I introduce myself to that famous DJ, and I say, yeah, I really want to be a DJ. I want to buy a DJ system. Can you guide me where I can buy this DJ? Yeah. And the guy knew a friend that he was selling those DJs. So this is how I get into to buy that DJ. But then when I went there to buy that DJ, my father whispered in my ear, you are a IT student. Are you sure you want to go down this path? Be like this illegal guy underground in darkness, come and buy DJ, and then always have this stress. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because I was not the guy to do those illegal things, and I was afraid of doing those, even because a lot of things could happen.
And you were very young. You were like 14 years old.
Yeah, I was 14, 15. So even walking down that basement, I was already freaking out. Is it are they going to kidnap us, or what's going on?
Yeah.
So I didn't buy the DJ there, but dance music was always my passion. And I always like waiting like for 1, 2, like in the morning. So everybody is asleep. I turn on the satellite. I had this small capture card. I was always recording those dance music on my this capture card, so I could watch it back on my computer. I still have those videos, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, Arsham, you've been answering the question. So, Armia, is it fair to say that this was Arsham's passion before it was yours?
Exactly. In Iran, I was a nerd. I was a book writer, and I was always in my.
Are you saying you're no longer a nerd?
I don't think so. No.
I think I transferred him.
but I was like, literally, I released my first book when I was 9 years old, and
wow.
I won a book competition in Iran, and then I made another book that even they test my skill, because they couldn't believe I'm writing those books. At the age of 15, I published my first book, which is called Akharin Shahr, Last City. And I was even in the news in our city, and
in Isfahan TV.
Yeah. And a lot of newspaper. But basically I was just on social, reading books, writing books, and being a nerd in my school.
So what did you think of your little brother's obsession with wanting to go to illegal DJ shops to get, dance, electronic music equipment?
Yeah, I had that side of me that I liked it also. So I was always with helping him
He had his naughty side that time, but in his own way.
Yeah, so I liked it actually. I felt good about it. I even wrote a song that time for my first girlfriend.
I have no idea.
My first crush. That was my fiance is looking angry right there, but but no.
Do you remember what was the song called?
Nilufar. Her name was Nilufar. So.
There's already a song called Nilufar.
Yeah,
we didn't know that.
Mine was in my own way, because I saw her again after a year, and I wrote a song about her.
That song is horrible, man. It was funny. I was playing keys. He was singing on it like freestyle.
And we had no clue what we were doing.
Wait, are you still in touch with Nilufar?
No.
Does she know that you're Vessbroz?
I think she knows.
She's probably like, boy, did I ever make a mistake letting that guy go. I thought he was just some kid from Isfahan who was a nerd. Now he's like a superstar. Arsham, I don't know if you can. Is there a way to describe musically? I come from more the rock pantheon, indie rock, you might say, or something. What is it about electronic music that turned you on as a kid? What was it that even though you were getting the music illegally? I know that in Iran you could be exposed to Metallica, you could be exposed to Michael Jackson, you could what was it about this music that inspired you enough that you really made this your passion?
I think what was the vibe and the rhythm of it. Still up to now, every time I hear this house music, my body, my head goes like this. So I think it's that vibe with it that I cannot resist against his house music.
Yeah.
So, well, of course, I was exposed to different genre of music, pop, and or like metal or rock. That time was even big, or even rap. Like at that time also was rap is quite a big, huge thing in like satellite TV. But I was listening to it, of course, but it was never in my mind. I want to be a rapper. It was never in my, but the house music, it was something that, okay, I want to do something with the house music. I want to do something with this 4/4 music because it just get me going.
Yeah.
Tell me about DJ Alligator.
Oh yeah, of course. That was also playing a big role, I would say, because that created a whole new door in my mind that as an Iranian, I also could be a DJ. Because I was used to listen to him without even knowing he was Iranian in the beginning. And then I remember in some show he had this shirt, like this Iran on his chest, and then he revealed he was Iranian, and that was for me was quite legendary. I was like badass. Oh, damn, good that we have such a guy.
Yeah.
So when does electronic music go from something you love to something you begin to believe you can actually do and even, we dare say, make a career of?
So. Yeah, of course, in Iran, I always have this passion. And of course, Alligator also play a big role that, okay, I could be someone. But when I was in Iran, in my mind it was just far away dreaming somewhere there. Maybe I will do something with it. But I couldn't see how this could be possible. Until the moment that I moved to Malaysia. I didn't move in the beginning. I went to see my brother because he lived in Malaysia. I went to Malaysia to stay with my brother. And then over there, I see the opportunity that it was a music school. It was a university that there has this subject called sound and music engineering. And then I grabbed the opportunity. I said, okay, I want to study here.
You guys have said a number of times, in some of the interviews that I did see, and in some of your posts, you've talked about the fact that people in the early days didn't think that you could make a career out of this, and even kind of poo-pooed this, and that part of your living your dream and the success that you've had has been proving them wrong. You said these things, but you've never got into details about what you meant by that. Who were these people and what were they saying, Arshan?
Yeah. I think Army can go because Army.
So like there was a few people that really stuck in our mind. And all started in Malaysia, basically, because that was the first country that we moved from Iran. I mean, I was forced to leave, but that was the first country that I went. And there, when we started our music career, our first music video director was a Malaysian guy. He said, with your accent, you guys never could be a superstar. Like, you maybe could like make a good music, but let someone else to be the face. Like, you can't make it with this accent. And that was already like, okay, that was my first music video. And I got such a comment from our director.
From the director that we hired to shoot the music video.
Yeah, and then there was a bunch of club promoters that they were like, when they knew we are Iranian, they were like, why I should pay like $500 to the Iranian DJ? I could get the same. I could pay the same to a UK DJ from UK or Netherlands, and I was like, okay. So those were one, and the biggest one was when we went on DJ Magazine cover. DJ Magazine is the biggest magazine for DJs, and like all the top DJs, they want to be on this magazine. They choose the ranking of the DJs in the world. And we were on the cover of DJ Magazine Asia. And when we were on the cover, the whole local community in Malaysia, they run a campaign against us. And that time, many people don't understand the difference between Arabs and Iranians. So they were like, why you let these two Arabs be on the face of like DJ magazine Asia? And they were changing our faces with the monkey faces, and
Oh,
it was tough. And then we had a tour show there with DJ magazine that the whole local community boycott the show, and there was almost no one showed up. So those were really, really
wow.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay, let me come back to that. That's fascinating. But first of all, it doesn't sound like they were just not believing you. It sounds like this is tinged by bigotry, racism,
definitely,
right? Like there's
definitely.
sort
We
of-
have a lot of racism in Malaysia, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There was all about racism. Yeah, I mean,
and then the other DJs are not supporting you. They're actually kind of working against you, not turning up. And I mean, what about the music community? Were they not on side?
no, like unfortunately, those time especially, maybe because there was not internet has not connect, and social media was not connecting people yet. We faced a lot of racism, let's say, in the DJ and music community.
And also we were super insecure to speak up.
Yeah,
That's also another thing.
we were very insecure. We even at some point we were hiding that like we are Iranian, like just because of those stuff. Yeah.
This may seem like a dumb question. It probably is. But when you say that the guy was talking about your accent, does he mean your accent? You're in Malaysia. Your accent speaking English,
Yeah.
you mean? Or what? Yeah. Because you go to Malaysia, you speak English if you're Iranian,
Yeah,
I guess,
yes.
to get around. Can I ask? I mean, so so in that moment, what are you guys saying to each? Is there ever a moment where you go, mungkin naturally let's throw it in. We can't do this. The cards are against us here.
The thing is, we have this mindset that let's prove them wrong.
Exactly.
So like even in my university, when I went to the university, we like at the first intake we've been like 35 people in the same semester at the same intake, and only five of us was graduating like after 4 years. And I remember at the first semester, everybody was like playing piano, somebody playing guitar, somebody was singing, and I went there with zero knowledge from Iran because I didn't have any musical background. And then so many people were like, you cannot do it at this age to learn about music, because I was at that time 20 plus.
And just keep the correction. Of course, in Iran, we have a lot of good musicians because we post something like this, and many people commented, no, in Iran, we have a music education. But our family was really a poor family, and it was never their priority to send us a music school or whatever. So we never learned music in Iran. It's not that like other Iranian, they like.
Yeah, lots of good musicians. Good correction.
Yeah. So.
But and it is challenging if you're doing music beyond the borders of what the regime appreciates. It obviously it's challenging. We've had many musicians from both inside Iran and outside of Iran tell the stories on this show, so we know it. I mean,
back to your question, because you asked like how did you wanted to prove them wrong? We were like we were always really stubborn, and I had this visualization board, because I always believed that whatever you can dream, you can achieve. So I was like, one day we're gonna come back to Malaysia, be our superstar, and they are like the one that's opening doors for us, or like I don't know, like they are the one that like warming up for us, or they are in the audience, they are like, oh, look at them, they are a star. Like I did this visualization in my mind over and over, and yeah, that happened.
Because on a difficult situation, there are two ways. You can go down with it, and let it get into you, or either go up
and just
to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you guys for having that inner strength. It may come from that inner strength, may come from the journey you've been on. And, as somebody who, not that there haven't been dramatic ups and downs in my life, and not that it wasn't easy growing up here as an immigrant kid in England and then in Canada, but for a lot of people who go into music, say in a place like Canada, they don't have the kind of challenges you guys have lived through to get to the point where you are. And I want to just explore that briefly. We talk about Malaysia. Malaysia is even in the conversation because Armia, you sounds like very dramatically and suddenly, as a teenager, end up fleeing to Malaysia. Can you tell the story of why?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I was a book writer in Iran. At first, I was just writing science fiction kind of book. Imagine is mix of Jules Verne with like Harry Potter. That type of like book I was writing. But at some point, I was really curious. So I started doing some research about religions, and that's a topic that in Iran, even just by doing this research of other religions, you could get into trouble. And yeah, I wrote this book, but I never meant to publish it, even though I was really young. I wasn't dumb to I knew that I should not release this book. But we throw a house party for my birthday, and my brother, being my brother and being that time the super popular boy in our town, he invited half of the girls to come to the party.
It's my brother's birthday, isn't it?
And then police came, and police and what the
Morality police.
morality police and
Message.
and what is it called, SEPA, and I don't know, the bunch of different government organization. They ran into our house. They took me and all our guests to prison, even my grandpa and my grandpa, my grandma and grandpa. And there they captured our computer because the music was playing from the computer, and in their mind that is a crime device basically. So they
آلات موسیقی. Good luck translating that.
So they took the computer away, and there they found out about my book, and
Wow.
and I was like, okay, I have to leave the country because that is they could hang me for this. And I had a few choice. I had Malaysia, Turkey, and I guess a few African country. I knew someone in Malaysia, so I thought I'm gonna go there. So I just, with $500 in my pocket, I went to Malaysia, and there I just applied for the refugee. But that's the different, longest story, that in Malaysia being refugee means you are completely illegal. But I tried all sorts of work, from cleaning toilets to giving out flyers to everything that I could, just to survive basically, and yeah, be
And you're basically alone there in a new country.
yeah. And I could not speak English at all, so that time.
What? I mean, that I need a whole episode about you going to Malaysia. So we'll do that another time on another interview, I hope. But I mean, if it doesn't sound so superficial to ask it this way, what did you most learn about yourself in those moments when you first went to, I mean, you're a teenager at this point.
Yeah, I just learned that I would never give up, and when I want to do something, I always achieve. When I always achieve it, and that was the case up to now in our life. When I lock something in my mind, I set it in my vision board, I always achieve it.
That time, you two are also obviously remarkably close, and I'm going to ask you about your relationship in a little bit. But that moment where you go to Malaysia and Arsham is still in Iran, and that period, you've said anecdotally at some point that was the hardest time for you guys, that separation. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the hardest time because we were super close, and we promised each other when we were like 12 years old or something, that we never gonna separate from each other ever, because our family our mom and father separated, and we also grew up in a lot of drama. So we formed. Sorry for that. There's a dog, our videographer dog here, literally barking.
That's okay. We're pro dog. Okay.
So what happened, it was that where I was. I lost my word.
The difficult period of you
The
two
time
being
that our
separated.
Yeah.
separated and divorced.
Yeah, so we did. So we promised each other we're never gonna leave each other. And then when we went to, when I went to Malaysia with literally $500 in my pocket, far away from my brother, couldn't speak English. Those were the hardest moments in my life, and the worst thing that could happen also happened after like 2.5 years being there. Our mom passed away, and because of course I could not go back to Iran, but I wanted to. So it was really hard when I heard the news because I knew it's coming. Our mom had MS, if you know what is it basically.
Yeah.
So in the last few calls that I had with her, she could not really talk anymore also. And slowly the entire body is stop working over the course of years. And at some point your heart and lungs also stops working. So when I get that call, I was really upset, and I wanted to go back to be in the funeral and say the last goodbye. But my father and my brother were like, please do not come back. We beg you, do not come back. And then they sent Arsham to just come there to visit me, basically to be my emotional support. That's how he came.
Arsham, when I was learning the story of Armia, I actually thought of you because you're the younger brother, and in many ways, I'm sure even at that point, Armia was your rock, your support system,
100%.
Your pillar. And so when he says to you in that, after that crazy period where he gets arrested and all of that, and the book and all of that, says, I got to get out of here, I'm going to Malaysia. Talk to me about that moment for you.
In the beginning, I couldn't understand how this major impact this was on our life. I thought you're gonna stay there a couple of months, gonna come back. And also we couldn't properly say goodbye with each other because that just happened in a few hours. He needed to leave. And then when I came home, he was already gone. But at that point, I wasn't really, let's say, sad because I thought, okay, it's a couple of months, temporary. He's just there. He's gonna come back. But after time passed by, I realized, no, this is serious. You need to stay there. We were, of course, always staying. We were in touch, like on telephone. And for me, it was like I kind of lost some part of myself that time because he was the one I always lean into. As my brother said, our parents they separated, right? So he was always there for me whenever I needed him. I always could talk to him. We went to the same school. So suddenly I didn't have that emotional support. So of course it got a huge impact on me after a few months. I would say not immediately, but after a few months, until our mom passed away, and Armia wanted to, of course, come back, and I decided just to go there for a couple of weeks or months to stay with him to calm him down, and also it's good to see him after years.
And that turned into forever.
Yeah, that turned into forever. First of all, he really needed someone. I really saw how lonely he was in there, and how his living condition and stuff like that wasn't a really good place. So I felt obligated to stay. Even I didn't want to leave Iran because I was already in my last year for my IT. I had a good life. I was improving. I had a job. And I didn't have a, let's say, problem in there because I already adopted. I didn't do anything with music and stuff like that. So it was hard for me even not to go back because that means I couldn't see my father anymore. I couldn't see my grandparents anymore. So I needed to sacrifice friends, family, and let's say our home country just to stay with my brother, which I did. And then we decided to, of course, start our music.
You posted something, it was about a month ago, where you said, when our mother died and we were young, we made a promise to each other that we are never going to leave each other. It's incredibly moving. It's just something written on a screen, and actually there's electronic music. It's you guys DJing as the video for that. But it really moved me. And went some ways in explaining this dynamic between the two of you. Tell me about that, how that conversation happens. I mean, do you look at each other in the eyes and say, I'm never leaving you? Do you reinforce that regularly? Do you just know each other so well that you know that's the truth? If you can go there, talk to me about that.
The first time that we had this conversation was...
We have the video of that.
We even have a video of it. It was long before our mom passed away, when I was still in Iran, we were like really teenagers, and we had there was some problems in our home, with our grandparents' home, and we me and Arsham left the home, and there we promised each other like that's how we is going to be from now onward. We're never gonna leave each other again. And then Malaysia happened. We were separated for 3 years. But then when he came to visit me, we remind each other of that promise, and we said, and I told him that let's start your childhood dream. So we really like bond not only as a brothers but also as a co-worker, and following the same dream with each other. His dream became my dream, and from that onward, I know that we're never gonna leave each other. And like even my fiance, I told her this is a package deal. Like you come to this family, this is a package.
Yeah, I was thinking anyone who enters this into a relationship with you guys is going to have to be ready for it's a package of two at least, right? Arsham, from your perspective, tell me about what this means to you. This promise you guys have made to each other.
Of course, it means a lot. And I don't want to go through the same thing again, that we left each other and he was in Malaysia. So yeah, of course, means a lot, and I'm trying my best to keep it that way, as my brother also said. Even for our relationship,
yes, it's hard for you.
No, I mean that time when you left, and I was in Iran. It was a hard time that we were separated, and even up till now, of course, with my relationship, if I wanted a girlfriend, I'm single by the way. But if I want to find a girlfriend, I need to make sure that they have a good dynamic with my brother and his fiance, because as we talk, it's a package deal. Like if Iranian government, and that Iranian government is not the right thing, is if this Islamic regime couldn't separate us, what else can separate us, right?
Right. But okay, well, that said, look, I have a sister who I love profoundly, and who I don't think there's anybody in the world I admire more than my sister. I mean, I could go on about how impressive she is. She's an academic, she's a professor, she's a writer, but I don't think we could. I don't think I could be in a band with her for 24 hours a day forever. I mean, it was because, and the reason is because, and you guys know this as siblings, there's something about siblings. The one, they can communicate. You look at each other and you know exactly what the other person's thinking, and it's not always roses. I mean, it's so. Talk to me about how you maintain this. I mean, you look very comfortable and comfortable with each other right now, as you do in any video I've ever seen of you. But I can't believe that it's like this 24/7. I mean, there's got to be one of you's got to be a bit of an asshole at some point. Nobody's perfect. So. Okay, go ahead. Who's the asshole?
We both, I think.
Depends time to time. Depends on different subject.
Yeah.
For example, when after party, if after show I want to do after party, he's the asshole one. He doesn't let me go after party. Oh, let's go back. Let's focus. We have an early morning flight. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
And
responsible one, but that doesn't mean that he's less responsible. He's more social, which that is a huge skill and it helps our career a lot. So I think we learned our weaknesses and our strength, and also our each other personality, and we did a few tests about the personality to get to know each other. and those really helped, and of course we have our.
What do you mean? What do you mean you did tests? What kind of tests?
It's about your personality, basically. How to, like, he has different personality, I have a different personality, and each of us, there's different way to communicate with each other.
So just to give you a context, there are some companies here that you go and they give you a questionnaire, you fill it up, and it tell you what type of personality you have. And basically, normally big company, they do it, like HR of the company, they bring all employees there so they can get to know each other better and how they can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And what's your personality? What did the test say about you, Arsham?
Yeah, it says the best person on this planet.
He is so emotional, and he decides with his feeling a lot of times. It takes time to answer questions. So you need to be patient when you communicate with her, and also
with him.
Sorry. And when you communicate with him, you have to think of his emotion, basically.
I make a lot of decisions based on emotions.
Yeah.
Rather than I think financial wise, or I think.
Well, that sounds like a perfect yin and yang.
Yeah, and he's always direct onto the point. He doesn't decide by the emotion, by his emotions. So I would say the best, what they call it, trick? No, not a trick. Like what works between us is that we accepted each other as who we are. We're not trying to change each other. We are not trying to change each other. For example, if I know I'm driving a Paycon, for example, I know the limitation of Paycon, then I don't expect
Paycon now.
And then, for example, then
a Jian. You're driving a Jian.
Then I don't expect the Jian, for example, to go drifting and go on a track and go against a Mustang.
Yeah, we know each other limitation. That's what he's trying to say.
Do you fight?
Yeah, fight like physics, never.
Arguments. Arguments. You have arguments?
Argument, yeah, we sometimes have argument, and majority of them are for work perspective, not like as a brother. So we learned nowadays, if we have whatever we have from argument from work, when we come back home, we call it the shop is closed. So we don't bring the work problems into our home, or at least we try to do that.
Well,
it's incredibly functional.
But by now we are going home almost 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And then now we have literally 10 days home, and then we are on a tour again.
Yeah.
And you were never both into the same girl, or getting into a fight about over some friend.
When we were a teenager, I guess we did a lot of those things back in Iran, but afterward, not really.
And also we learned to communicate. So even before we hit on someone, we communicate.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the fact that he's got himself engaged now means that you're
so I'm
that problem solved for you, Arsham.
I'm super happy. One person is off the market, so I can do whatever I want.
Because usually that was always the case. When a girl usually the girl like both of us, and they don't mind which brother to be, basically. So it was quite challenging. But now that I'm very happily not single anymore, on 2 years now, 2.5 years. What is it? 2 years? 3 years. Okay.
Whoa.
3 years.
Somebody from behind the camera.
It was happily until about 6 seconds ago, when you forgot how many years.
And the thing is, people from outside, they look at us, they think we are quite same. Maybe by the look or how we do it, stuff. There are a lot of similarities, but when you get to know us, we are completely two different person.
Yeah.
He's the one that he wants to go home early. He wants to chill in home. I'm the one to just want to be outside, socializing with people, talk to random stranger, 2 midnight, some random country.
But it really isn't easy. I mean, I've been in a band. I have a sibling. I know, this is not. Look, arguably the biggest rock band in the world, Oasis, right? All the money in the world, the greatest songs in the world. These guys can't get along with each other. They notoriously just, they travel in separate buses, right? I mean, it's amazing they're back together now on tour. But so how do you talk to each other about how you're going to avoid that happening to you?
Definitely. I think never that's going to happen to us. We passed so much challenges. That's one thing that I think those bands, they never really experienced the hard life that we passed so far and the challenges that we had. So everything that happens, when we look back, we think, okay, whatever this problem is nothing compared to what already we passed. So we were like, okay, we take a step back, we relax, and we move on. Nothing worse could happen to us than what already happened in our past. So I think that is the biggest thing. And beside that, we always say the best feeling in the world is when we play next to each other for the crowd and they are dancing in front of us, and those moments worth everything. So
yeah, it's really kudos to you guys. It's really impressive the way you, even the kind of language that you have around it, how you're doing this together. It's incredibly impressive, and especially as Iranians who don't always have an easy time of getting along with each other. So let's go back to the music now. And you're in Malaysia, and I mean, there's so many stories of you. You're in a refugee camp. You're making music. Talk to me about the moment when, I guess, Armia, you're coming to Arsham's passions, and you're saying, okay, let's make a go of this. Is there a moment where you guys kind of go, this is going to be our thing? We're going to, this is now we are Vessbroz.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I think 16 or 17 for me, and I think for Arsham as well. I knew when we wanted something, we're gonna get it. So when I told Arsham, okay, Arsham, let's start your childhood dreams. I also told him that I think in order to become successful, it's gonna take us 10 years at least. So with having that in mind, let's start this and don't expect the short-term result. But we're gonna get it for sure, 100% sure. It may gonna happen earlier, but give it a 10 years, we're gonna make it.
The thing is, a lot of musicians, maybe that was a privilege that we did not start it since we were kids. I would take it as a positive thing because we started quite late. And then, compared to other musicians that they all learn it through family and being kids and stuff like that. But we learned it at the time that we needed to also earn money to survive. Because in Malaysia, it's not like Europe that you apply for asylum, you get the house, you get the money, you get whatever free, you have a free mind, and then you can just do whatever you want to do. In Malaysia, the moment you apply for refugee, it means you are no one. You don't have you don't have a
bank account.
You don't have a bank account. You don't have any type of insurance. So if you're sick, you are broke. You are not allowed to work even officially. So you are not allowed to rent a house officially.
Yeah.
So it's just you have just a refugee card that you can stay, but then you need to
figure out your life yourself.
Yeah, and then starting from that base, and then we also know that we need to earn money at some point. So we start to look at it from the beginning. Like a business model, like the whole business, how we can do it, what we should do, what to expect. And I think that was one of our main reasons that.
So it was not only the music, what he's trying to say, it was also the whole business mind behind it. When we started this, immediately we were thinking business wise, how are we going to make this a successful business? Because as an artist, you are also a company. So that was our mindset since day one. And that is how also just by, I think 1.5 years of knowing how to make music, we managed to land on US Billboard Top 40, on DJ Magazine cover, and sign with Sony Music Asia.
Do the personality types that you guys have talked about play themselves out creatively too? Like if I were to guess, Arsham brings a lot of creativity in terms of the tracks or the sounds, or Arsham and Armia, you're a little more tactical on what you bring to this creatively and in terms of organizing.
I'm really organized, yeah.
Well, I'm organized, but the other side is that no, actually, we both are really creative, but he is the one that is really good technically. So that's a bit weird.
I studied sound and music engineering in the university. So in technical side, that's why a lot of DJ they learn it from I don't know, DJ school or whatever. But I learned it from the engineering perspective.
Yeah.
So I have the knowledge. Like if I'm in the music festival, if the whole sound goes off, I know how to handle everything myself.
So he's the technical guy, and he was always been. So usually in our writing processes, I wrote the idea and lyrics and maybe melody and some ideas. And then he does he finish it, and he does the mixing and mastering and all that. That requires the engineer basically to do it.
Armia was a storyteller, right? So songwriting also is kind of storytelling.
Clearly, yeah. A writer as a kid, he's a genius. I mean, it's when you're doing all the Dokhtar Bazi, he's writing books, what's the moment where you guys, if there has been one, where you feel like this, okay, now this is a successful thing. Now we've hit the place we want to be hitting on the way to our dreams.
Yeah, I remember it was a really touching moment for me that we were in the spinning record office.
Oh yeah, that was.
The whole team sitting on a big long table in front of us, from the CEO, I don't know, whatever you think, from marketing team, social media team, A&Rs, whatever you want, 15 people on the table. Even from the Dutch national TV also they came, because for them was a big success story, like refugee coming as a refugee, now landed on one of the biggest deal, like financially, blah, 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 stuff like that. So for them also was a huge thing that everybody come. But for a sec, on that specific table, with so many, let's say, Dutch people are sitting around the table, suddenly it was for me like everything around me was blurred and everything get dark, and I was like only see me and myself, see myself and my Armia, and I'm telling him, Armia, like, Armia, we made it.
Yeah.
Look, this is the dream record label that we like. I was speaking even Persian, and then suddenly everybody in the meeting was like, "What the hell is happening?" I speak to him, yeah, Armia, we made it, because in Iran I was on that illegal TV. I was watching this spinning records music that they were releasing with that S logo, and then right this S logo was right in front of my face in the office. So that was really touching movie, that moment.
Yeah, that was.
Also the moment
Yeah,
for
definitely.
you.
That was like that was exactly a moment also for me that all these guys from spinning records, 12 or 15 of them, were like sitting on this long table, and we were signing contracts, and they wrote "Welcome Vessbroz," and
they had the whole mob plan to present it to us, what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Of course, before that, we had a track that was in the US Billboard Top 40 for 7 weeks. We saw like Taylor Swift, Zayn Malik, and all those stars. But we just learned the music, how to do, like, we were super new in the market. And I think some part of ourselves also, we knew it. Maybe we were not deserved to be there. Just this track was good, or I don't know how it get there, because now we listen back to that track, sounds so shitty.
So yeah,
It doesn't sound. One of the things that I love about this story so far, and that's also quite curious, to be honest, is here you are, these two hot guys who, you got these hit tracks. You're amazing at what you do. People have really taken to you around the world. It wouldn't be a surprise if you lived in New York or Berlin or London, and you were seen in clubs every night partying, and you were like the it guys, dating famous actresses or something like that. You're in a farm in the Netherlands.
The best place to be.
Which is, it's counterintuitive. It's interesting to me. Talk to me about that.
So I think there are a few reasons for that. First of all, when we came to this, it was during the COVID when we find this village in the Netherlands, and the family that we rent a place for Airbnb, and from this family, from this Dutch farmer family, and soon they became like our family. This like the grandpa and grandma that we call them now, Opa and Oma, which is grandma and grandpa
in Dutch.
And their son, which became our business partner. They became like our family. And then that was a moment for us that we thought, okay, like we are always touring in all these busy big cities. We need a place to go back and just calm and relax. And we decided like to live here. And because when we want the noisy city, we are on tour. We're going to be in London. We're going to be in LA. But we need sometimes to come back to our ground and just be relaxed. But that being said, still it may be part of our plan to move at some point to LA. We don't know yet.
Yeah, and also we don't see the need of doing that at this moment as well, because we have really clear goal and objective that we are locked on. We want to win a Grammy. So from here to Grammy, all the rest are the noises. Of course, it's fun to party at club, drink. I love those, don't get me wrong. But when the opportunity rises, if we are on tour and then there's one after party or sort of something, of course I do it. But it's not that I need to be on those places always.
Yeah.
But Arsham, if you meet your dream person at one of these after parties, do they have to move to a farm in Netherlands to be with you?
They would love to, trust me.
The way that we do it, they're going to love it.
They probably will.
Because Netherlands is small.
True, yes. And I actually, do you guys know, is it Mustafa Hiravi? Who's the great designer? What's his name? Is that right? Mustafa Harabi. Yeah, yeah. He lives in a farm outside of Amsterdam as
Oh
well.
wow.
You have to check it. He's a graphic. He's an amazing artist, like a visual artist slash sort of pop culture commentator.
It'd be nice to have him for
And
the.
Yeah, for our other project. We're actually looking for one.
he's a video. Seriously, you don't know? He's a video
Oh
maker too.
wow.
He's did he do Pishtar? What did or he did? No, he did some famous video. Anyways, you have to.
Well,
Yeah, I'll put you in touch.
Please,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's amazing. He's a really cool guy. Really
That would be
cool, like
fantastic.
alternative kind of artist. But I can't imagine he's that far from you guys somewhere. You know, he's on a bicycle. He says all the
Yeah,
time.
man,
We
Going,
have
you know.
Netherlands.
so
But
many successful Iranians all around the world that sometimes I just suddenly bump into one person from the head of this festival or working on that record label. I'm like, whoa, you are Iranian. And like, there's so many successful Iranian all around the world that I just wish we could have some sort of community that we could connect with each other. That would be really lovely, actually.
That's what we try to do with Roqe here.
That's amazing.
That was my mission for starting this thing. So talk to me about this. Is a perfect segue into this sort of final part of the interview, where I wanted to go. And you mentioned it earlier. This, you called it a reset, to where you find this incredible success as globally recognized DJs and electronic music stars. And yet, even though you are Iranian, you didn't always integrate Iranian sounds or ideas or vibes into what you do. You have started to do that, I would say, with a considerable amount of success and love from the Iranian community around the world. When did that decision happen, and why did it happen?
So like for us, we were always trying to follow Western DJs,
Specific Dutch DJs.
especially like Dutch DJs, and we were doing good. We even became number 130 DJ in the world, which is a big thing. And next year would have been maybe for us top 100, and then this is how you raise to hopefully top 20 and top 10 DJ in the world. That was the beginning for us. When we signed with the Spinning Records, when we went to the DJ ranking, but then we were like, there is something missing, and there were like always record labels trying to push us to different sounds, and there was no identity for us. There was no. We were like, basically, I felt like we don't have any identity. So we decided, okay, Arsham, let's 2 weeks, or it was like 2-3 weeks or something. We stop all the noises around us and we rethink what we want to achieve in our life.
Yeah,
And
I remember it was funny. It was in all of our like brainstorming sessions. Something was keep coming back. They were thinking like, what type of music to produce, what content, what message to give out. Was something was coming back to make our culture proud, and then like show our culture to the world.
but we never find the right way to do it. And then finally we said, okay, you know what? Forget about the success. It's a big risk, but we have done it once or maybe twice actually in Malaysia and then in the Netherlands. We can do it again. Let's start something with
Fresh completely.
completely fresh. And the first person that we reached out to, it was Andy. And he was so kind to say yes, because it's something different, and we became quickly a good friend. So when you start with Andy, which is one of the biggest Persian superstar and such a nice person,
What a lovely guy.
yeah, we decided.
really is.
We decided that was already. We immediately make the statement that okay, here we are, and this is our sound, and we are serious about our job. It's not that just one time or two time. We are really serious. Is we are coming to show the world something that you never seen before. It's a mix of Persian and electronic music.
We call it Persian house because in Netherlands, a lot of Western countries, they have all sorts of party. They have techno, they have I don't know deep house, they have whatever Afro house, whatever it is. It's the so many genre. And then, but it was like 2 years ago that we said, okay, let's come up with this Persian house and then show all these Dutch people, like because we are Netherlands or foreigner, let's show what is Persian house.
And the funny thing is that lots of our supporters that time get confused, and even they were like losing faith on us, like in the music world and also in record labels. They didn't want to sign us anymore because that was a strange and new sound for them. And that time we have like just a small percentage of Persian DJs who followed us, because for them we were on a spinning records and they knew we were Iranian. And some of them even unfollowed us because they were like, "What a shame that you are on that successful level, and
You, you were
now you
that
are
cool.
releasing a song with Andy." We got messages like that. Why you did that, or like why you want to like make the Persian music?
Yeah, you are like that cool that you break into for like Western market, and now you make this. What is this?
And then, but we said, okay, look, wait for it. And then we start pushing and pushing and pushing. And then slowly we got the message from Universal. Oh, I love that sound. What language is that? Can we sit together and talk? And we started to, the success has started to show up. And now we are super proud to see that there are some other young Persian DJs also who follow the, we call Persian house movement. And the more we get, I think the more we're gonna open a new category in the festivals in the world, basically.
And we are so happy to see this young generation young DJs, they are following that because
We're not that old ourselves, also.
yeah, I know, but I mean, somebody that I don't know, I call it young. Like I never knew it was he was or she was in the industry, so I call it a newcomers or well, some other DJ. Let's call it some other DJ, not to make confusion. To see that they are also doing Persian house, that's gonna raise the awareness for the whole Persian community. Hopefully, at some point, at like Coachella or some other big festival, we can have our Persian stage.
Yeah, that's a dream for us to have Persian
That's
stage.
awesome. That's awesome. I can, you can visualize it. I mean, you're the people who do that. You visualize your goal, and as you say, you've said a couple of times, Armia, that we're going to make any goal that we visualize. Has this changed your own, this reset? Has it changed your own connection with being Iranian? It might sound like a strange question, but you know, it's come up a few times on this show over the last 7 years where somebody says, and it's very poetic when they do, it says, you know, I had to leave Iran to find my Iranianness, you know, to sort of understand why I'm Iranian and what that means. You're nodding, so reflect on that, if you will.
Definitely. Like I was, when I was in Iran, I thought like being Western is cool, and I was even dyeing my hair sometimes into blonde. And when I was in Malaysia, I was trying to hide being Persian, and of course, part of it also was because of those racism comments. But here, slowly, I started to gain confidence and saw that our culture actually is really, really beautiful. We have so many beautiful things to show it to the world, from our music to our books, to our poems, to our natures, to our culture, the way that we talk and the way that we speak, and all the tarof and things like this that we have, and yeah, we have started to fit from the.
Can you hear us, Steve?
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, somebody called my phone directly. Okay, I reject.
We have
You're
started.
good. You're good now. You're good.
So I was saying, like, we have started to hear all these positive messages from all these foreigners that, like, oh, I love that sound, or I love that thing about your culture, or like they have started to research about Iran, or in our particular part, even Isfahan, because we are from Isfahan, and they were like, that is really beautiful, and yeah, that makes us super proud and super
I think also
blessed.
That comes from Armia when we been in the school in Iran, like as all the young kids in the school in Iran, somehow I don't know what is this in the school system, or what is it? Is it something with the regime or whatever? I have no clue. I'm not a politician or to know this type of thing, but it makes us disconnected from our Iranian culture, from our Iranian heritage, because you know you are forced to learn so much about Arabic language. I have nothing wrong or against Arabic people. It's just different language that I didn't choose to learn. And you like there's so many things about our history that is not being said, or they didn't teach us that in the school.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of disconnecting us from our history, from our actual culture.
That's a really good point. I think that plays an important part.
Yeah, and there's some part of us that maybe a bit, maybe shame, or we don't exactly know within ourselves who is our true self.
And I think government also play an important role, definitely, because I was always ashamed to say I'm Iranian because those were our government and those were on TVs all the time. And especially my time was like Ahmadinejad. I was like, that's that's.
It's interesting when you go into the Iranian space. This is what I've discovered. If you were to, we all know you're Iranian, or at least Iranians know you're Iranian. But if you were to just do so-called Khariji music, you would be judged less in terms of, there'd be less expectations of you being ambassadors for the Iranian people. But when you're in the Iranian space, when you integrate that music, there's also a bit of a feeling like, okay, these guys are representing now, and there's a pressure that comes with that, and you have to make decisions. I imagine, how much are we going to speak out about what this regime is doing? How much are we going to speak out about? You recently posted a video talking about the executions, the young people who are due to be executed in your hometown of Isfahan. I was thrilled that you did that, but you have to kind of make those decisions, which also come with compromises.
A lot of compromise.
Somebody might, talk to me about that.
Yeah, Oman is it's really challenging, and that's what I said. Like, a lot of things we can't share, unfortunately. But if you want to work in the international market, and if you want to keep your platform, you always have to compromise sometimes, because I love to share as much as I can about Iranian people, and we did. Like, if you go back in past 2 months ago and before,
since January,
we started posting a lot, and that came from with a lot of cancellation.
It has been cancelled on so many festivals and locations.
But
festivals canceled you?
Yes, it's the longest.
Wow.
And we couldn't speak up because you are at the age that if you speak up and then you make it so big that later on your career, if someone, like, let's say from Canada, want to book me and they search for our name in Google, they see so many controversial things on you. So, but if you don't speak
up
about it,
I understand why you would get canceled in Iran, where you can't really play gigs anyway. But why would a Western festival cancel you for speaking out about human rights in Iran?
There are a few reasons for that, and one being that as a music artist, a lot of time they don't like you to speak about politics, and they like to keep it they want you to stay silent about political views. And also the whole Iranian movement, I think at some point shift away with combined with the Israeli movement, let's say, in a way, and that led to a lot of issues, because for us Iranian people, we want the freedom of our people, and we don't want this regime, period. That's it. And we don't really care about other things. But at some point, because Israel was fighting with Iran, and at some point they all made it about that, basically, in Western media. Right. And they basically, funny thing is that they told us the flag of lion and sun that we have over there, they were thinking that is a Zionist flag. Even they were asking us, that flag that you have in your show is about Israel. And I was like, are you crazy? This is 5,000 years of flag. Is way before even Israel was a country. So
because there are a lot of movements or political parties or even festivals that they so much hate about, let's say, in particular Benjamin Netanyahu, that they prefer Iranian people live under this regime, and not to let Netanyahu win over this war, for example.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then that created the cancellation. Okay, you are supporting
yeah.
Iranian people, but Iranian government is a fight with Israel because we all hate Benjamin Netanyahu. Then
It's literally ideology over
yeah, so this
humanitarianism.
is
Yeah,
this that
yeah, yeah,
we are middle of this selective justice. That dude,
yeah.
I even don't want to care about what's happening anywhere else. I just want my people to be free. I just want this regime be away, be gone, whatever you're gonna call it. And then they put you in so
much pressure.
Pressure that you don't know what is the right decision. So at this point, maybe you stay silent. That's the best decision that you can get at that point.
Because
And but then you feel like shit. You know, there's kids being executed in your hometown, and you're not going to stay silent.
We're not
so
gonna stay silent.
You have to kind
it's
of.
okay because
Yeah.
we are trying to fight. Basically, it's hard, but we are fighting, and it's okay. It's part of this success also comes with the responsibility, and we have that. It's our responsibility to speak up because we have a platform.
We even have a lot of
How
emails
much-
of those, but we keep them.
I'm sure.
We keep them for now to ourselves.
How much do you hear from people inside Iran when the internet is on, who are fans of yours or who are appreciating what you're doing in the Iranian space?
One of the
as well?
comments was so funny, man. We had the show in Nepal and we played a completely foreigner audience, so completely foreigner, some Western tourists in Nepal. I think it was only 3 Iranian was in the whole club, like 5,000 people in the club. I think it was only 3 Iranian, and one of them brought the Lion of Stone flag. And then we were playing, I don't know, we play a lot of time for foreigner, we play Iranian music, but of course we mix it with house music, so it's not that much sounds Iranian, but still, if Iranian person listen to it, they would realize. And then I think we play Shoshe or Heledana, one of the Persian music we play. And then the whole foreigner crowd, they went crazy. And we had this comment on the one of the posts. It was like, every single penny that I spent on that VPN to come on internet, well deserved.
Yeah,
Oh,
or like, but beside that also we get a lot of comments that they are happy to like all this music that we make. It makes them happy, it makes them emotional, especially the Isfahan music. Or it's funny that some of them they said we are even living in Isfahan, but this music makes us miss Isfahan, or maybe that the spirit of Isfahan which is gone at the moment.
دلم میخواد به اصفهان برگردم بازم به اون نصف جهان برگردم دلم میخواد
So yeah, it's
Do you ever actively? I mean, we all say this sort of symbolically, but I mean, do you actually think of in a free Iran going and doing a gig in Isfahan? Be pretty cool.
Definitely, right? We were even trying to make it with the AI or with the green screen. It's not the same, but we love to. If one day we could play in Isfahan, and also not only Isfahan, of course, in all other cities, that would be the dream come true.
It's such a pleasure speaking to you guys. I really enjoyed this, and I really appreciate your candor and your sense of community. I mean, and I do think you have a remarkable story. I hope we can do this in our studio next time rather than across the ocean. But it's been a real honor, a real pleasure to do this. So, what kind of Grammy does it have to be? Is there a category that you want?
Yeah, electronic music.
Electronic. I mean, why settle for that? Why not just like best song, best artist?
I mean that also I like it.
That is in our 4th vision board.
Yeah, I think that step 1 is electronic music. It could also be a best song at some point, but first let's get the electronic music. Let's set the record on that.
You need a few vision boards.
Exactly.
Right. I'm too far ahead of my vision boards with you.
Yeah, but thank you for believing in us. Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
I mean, when you talk about the precipitant for Arsham coming to Malaysia, the untimely and unfortunate death of your mom, what would your mom think of so she predated the success that you guys have had. She predated Vessbroz, right? She wasn't alive for the success you've had. So what do you think she would make of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think she would be definitely really proud. And even us speaking English, because she was a English professor. and she was she always loved us to speak English even, so she would be very very definitely proud. And yeah, I don't know what to say, to
I
be
kn-
honest.
I know your grandma passed 2 or 3 months ago. She was she aware of how successful you guys have become?
Yeah, and the
Oh
funny
no,
thing is that she loved Andy so much. And when we were in the car with Andy, we give her a video call, and then she
he
loved.
was flying all around the
Wow.
house because
Wow.
we all grew up listening to Andy, and I remember my grandma put an Andy song like on satellite would come out. She pop up the volume, start to dance on her own while she was cooking and singing to Andy. And yeah, she was so proud that we collaborated with Andy.
I think that was that this made us really 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 happy because it brought her that joy basically.
And when she passed away, we made a video with one of her most favorite song from Andy. He has very, I would say, slow and sad song with like "Pese az koja shuru shod," that song.
Yeah,
We made a video on her memorial, and then they played it on the whole hall for on the memorial. What they call it?
Memorial Day, yeah, ceremony.
Guys, respect. It's been a real pleasure. When are you coming to Canada?
4th, 5th, and 6th of September we have shows.
Fantastic.
Yes, in Canada.
Where?
Yeah, in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal.
We'll see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, let's party. Then you're
Yeah,
gonna hear
more
the
than
real
looking
Persian
forward to
house.
I'm only partying with Arsham because he's the real partier. I can tell.
Yes, smart
know?
people immediately would know. They know you are boring.
But then get ready until 7 a.m. because literally,
I don't think he minds. Look at him.
Actually, Arsham, I'm probably more like Armia than you in terms of packing in around 2 a.m. Thanks, guys. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Take care of yourselves. We see you when you're on this side of the ocean. And Varan, merci.
thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
us. Merci. See you soon.
Khada.
Ciao.
All right. Big thanks to the boys from Vessbroz. Really gratifying talking to those two. They are smart. They are business aware. They are creative. And they seem to have really good, their heart in the right place, both with each other and with their mission in the world. Really great to have them on the program. I look forward to doing that in the studio next time here when they come to Canada. This is full time for Roqe for today. Thank you to the amazing core team who put this show together twice a week, sometimes once a week. Super Parisa Sanjaroni, Savvy Roham Meher, and the photo and video queen Tina Fatahi. A special thanks as well to Smart Pega, Charming Kimia, Talented Anahita, Methodical Kaver, The Rising Keon, all of whom worked their asses off for Roqe Live 6. Thank you to all of you guys. And thank you to you out there for supporting us and sharing our content. Do subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's easy. Just go to any of our platforms, wherever you're watching or consuming this right now, and subscribe for free. You can find us on Instagram at Roqe Media. You can find me on Instagram at Jian Gomeshi. And really, try to heed the words of my late Uncle Behrang when I tell you at the end of every episode, Mizun Bashi.